All right, so it's Workplace 30, Section 8.1, with the notes here. So a couple things we need to know. Compound interest. So compound interest is interest that's calculated on the principal amount plus any other interest that's already previously been accrued or been added on. So there's a special formula for that. It's the interest is a little bit more every month or every day or every year. It's the interest that gets charged always creeps up with compound interest. So it's not just the same amount of interest every month or every year, but the interest grows. So that's the thing about compound interest. It's calculated on the principal plus any interest accumulated in up to that point. So this is the special formula we use, and we're going to use that formula for number 1. So let's just review number 1. You just finished number 1, right? So let's just review it real quick. So Michael takes out a loan for $2,000 borrowed at an interest rate of 3% per annum, which per annum is the same as year, right? And it's compounded monthly for 2 years. How much will Michael and Michael have to pay for the loan? So A equals P is the $2,000, correct? You tell me if I'm right because you did this one already. 2,000, and I'm going to do a bracket. 1 plus. Now this R, is this the annual interest rate? It is annual interest rate. So that's going to be 3.00. Do I have to divide it by anything? What's N? The number of compounding periods per year. So this is compounded monthly. So how many months are there in a year? 12, good. So the 12 goes there. All right. And then this is hard to see, but that's N times T. So T is the number of years, and N is the compounding periods. This is going to be 12 compounding periods times how many years? 2 years. So is that how you set your formula up? Yep. Just like that? Awesome. Okay. So what did you get for a number here when you calculate all of this on your calculator? Did you do that yet? Not quite? Okay. Okay, take a moment and do this on your calculator, see what we get. So one small note here, this 3% has to be as a decimal, doesn't it? So look at this, what we didn't read there is as a decimal. Got to remember that. Yeah. Okay, so that's going to be 0.03. That's going to change things. Good, go ahead and calculate that then. All right, so we both got the same answer. That's great. $2,123.51. So we will remember that this interest rate has to be as a decimal. Okay? All right. Now that's for A. So for B, it says what is the monthly payment? So basically, this is the total. So the monthly payment would be this total amount divided by 24 months, because there's 2 times 12 or 24 months to pay. So we'll just do that. So monthly payment is going to be $2123.51 divided by 24. Okay. Divided by 24. 88.48 looks like. 88.48 if we round to the nearest cent. All right, so that's those are the answers to number 1. So let's take a look at number 2. So this one, considering small business opportunities. So running a small business is often time-consuming and challenging, but the results can be rewarding if you plan well. Business owners usually start with an idea of something that they're interested in, be it a service business or a retail business. Before opening a business, you must do some research to determine a few things. Is the business right for you? Are you committed to it, and will you stick with it even over rough periods? Is the business feasible? That is it likely to be financially profitable? And who are your potential customers or clients? And are there enough potential customers to support your business? Market research will also help you to answer these questions. Okay, so Rayanne is an early childhood educator, and she's thinking about opening up her own daycare. She currently lives in Moose Jaw or lives between Moose Jaw and Regina, and is trying to decide where to open her daycare. Moose Jaw has a total population of 33,274 when this was printed, approximately 6% of which is 5-year-olds and under. There are 30 licensed daycares operating in the city. So that's Moose Jaw. Regina has a population of 193, 100, and approximately 6% of which are 5-year-olds, and there are 142 licensed daycare operating in the city. Approximately how many children aged 5 and under are there in Moose Jaw and in Regina? Okay, so Moose Jaw, we need to find 6% of this number, 33,274. So let's go 33,274. What am I going to multiply that by to find 6%? Right, and I use a decimal form of that number, right? So you're going to do that number. Let's test that out. So I've got 1996.44. Now, 1990, now these are children, so let's say approximately 1997. Okay, let's round up, okay? So you wouldn't have 0.4 of a child walking around, so we'll round that up, okay? And then that's in Moose Jaw, so Regina, let's do that in a different color. So Regina would be 193,100 times 0.06. So let's try that. 193,100 times 0.06 is 11,586. 11,586. Okay, so there's our two numbers. 1,997 and 11,586. Okay. So at first glance you might think, oh, Regina's better because there's way more kids. But remember that Regina has a lot more daycares, a lot more. So we have to really be careful about this decision. How many children aged 5 and under are there in each city for daycare? Approximately how many children aged 5 and under are there in each city for daycare? So for each daycare, we have 1997 divided by 30, right? So there's 30 that can support that number. So that's going to be 1997 divided by 30. And this is going to be children per daycare. So we can use a decimal number here to compare in case it's really close. That's fine. So approximately 66.6 children, okay, per daycare in Moose Jaw. That's the blue one. So the red one is going to be 11586 divided by 142. So let's try that. 11586 divided by 142. Do you think it's going to be more kids per daycare, a higher number, or lower? What do you think? Lower? Okay, let's see. Ooh, it's higher. Look at, it's actually quite a bit higher. That's 81.6 kids per daycare. So 81.6. So they aren't actually that close. So this is approximately 67 kids per daycare. This is approximately 82 kids per daycare. So which location do you think would be best to open up a new daycare? So who would have, like there's more children per daycare, daycares available, you see? This is 81 children per daycare, and Moose Jaw has 66 children per daycare. So which one would you choose to open up? Regina? Yeah, you go with Regina because in the city, there's more kids per daycare. So that means that there's maybe potentially more kids that would need a daycare, right? Yeah. So yeah, you'd say Regina. So there's more children per daycare. So that is more kids to share, really, right? That's what that means. So more kids to share between the daycares. So opening up another one, you see, that would be 143. So you could do this same amount of kids divided by 143, and you would still have a large number, more than 66. Okay, you get that? Any questions there? No. All right, so why don't you go ahead and try number 3 there, and that'll be your job for the next little bit, okay? All right, and here are the answers for A and B when you get a chance to do those. 6,103 for A and 183 for B.